This series is presented by Solo Hunter brand rifle covers, your gun's best protection against the elements.
I'm Remi Warren, and this is the story of my high country mule deer hunt through my lens and my eyes. The place I am hunting is remote big country with no roads and over 10,000 feet in elevation. Although I am hunting alone, I am following in the tracks of primitive hunters that hunted and roamed these mountains in search of game hundreds of years ago. Alright, headed up the mountain. Gonna go up this canyon into this backcountry area where I spotted some deer this morning and got everything to spend the night. And hopefully there's some bigger bucks up there. If not, we'll keep going over and hunt the other side of the canyon. Hiking glassing. That right there is high country mule deer hunting. Look down on the ground. Pretty sweet. Actually, there's no rocks like this around here, so this probably came from a ways away. A little artifact on the trail. Shows that this is good hunting grounds. My plan for this hunt is to carry everything on my back and keep hunting as I travel. Since water is hard to come by, I've opted to carry more water and go lighter on food. Temperature changes like crazy. Man, it's beautiful though. Look at this. Big country. Yeah, buddy. I'm actually walking across this hillside on this sheep trail. It's pretty sweet. It's been flattened out by just probably years of bighorn sheep walking on it to get from one area to the other. It goes all the way across. It's pretty sweet. I will tell you what, a lot of this country is straight up and down and rocky, and there is a very rare patch of grass here. If I have to walk 2 miles to sleep here tonight, I just might do it because it is lush. Either that or I want to find a cave, because sleeping in caves is my second favorite alternative. I'm coming up this ridge. There's a group of big old sheep right in front of me. 240 yards. Get up close and look. There's a lot of them. There's one just sitting on this cliff right in front of me. Let's go check this out. Nice big ram right behind me here, about 250 yards, and a bunch of ewes and some smaller rams. And I love sheep hunting, but it's hard to draw a tag. So I like to deer hunt where the sheep live. It's just like being on a sheep hunt, just different species. It's awesome. These sheep that I keep running into are actually desert bighorn sheep, which are native to the state of Nevada. Before the turn of the 20th century, they inhabited almost every range in the state. But by the late 1900s, due to overhunting and disease from domestic animals, the population dwindled almost out of existence. Thanks to transplants and habitat improvements from organizations such as Nevada Bighorns Unlimited, Nevada now has more wild sheep than any other state in the lower 48. Sitting here, I'm going to glass this valley for the evening. This actually wouldn't be a bad spot to sleep. I'm going to keep it in mind in case I get somewhere else. This might be a good place to come back to. Only trouble is you don't want to roll when you're sleeping because it's a good 1,000-foot free fall off that side. Wouldn't be a very fun trip in a sleeping bag. But tie myself off to the rock or maybe put up a little rock barrier like a bunk bed. This is high altitude bunk bed action here. Yeah. Let's hopefully spot something. You know?
These are self-documented hunting adventures with no production crews. We hunt in very remote locations and often dangerous situations. We are solo hunters.
Just something about this kind of weather and this kind of experience, just this kind of brutality, it makes you feel like a man.
My favorite backpacking food is dead animal.
Make you think twice about stepping out of the tent to take a leak in the middle of the night, that's for sure.
Filming myself and trying to shoot stuff just frustrates me. It makes you feel like you're a horrible hunter. It's not the case. You're just a horrible cameraman.
Solo Hunters is brought to you by Muzzy Broadheads, Carbon Express, Gorilla Gear, Outdoor Edge and Vortex Optics, Prime by G5, and Campbell Cameras. Relive your adventure. Closed captioning provided by Trophy Taker Fallaway Arrow Rests, leading the way on the line and in the field. Solo Hunters is brought to you by Prime Bows from G5, where accuracy is everything.
This morning I glassed and I glassed and I glassed, but to no avail. I saw 0 deer. That's alright, I'm completely surrounded by sheep still, and for me it's just cool seeing the sheep. This is the poor man's sheep hunt. You just get a deer tag and then go where the sheep are at. Look at all the sheep. It's fun. There's got to be some deer somewhere. It's tough, but cool spot. Spotted some deer in the meadow right below me here. Just past this big green patch, there's like almost like a creek bed that's going down, and there's a few does and a little tiny forky buck. When I first saw them, I got excited, but turns out nothing on the tops of their heads. It's the middle of the day, and I haven't been seeing many deer, so I looked at this peak. What kind of adventurer would I be if I didn't climb to the top of it, just to say I did it? I was trying to talk myself out of it. I almost had myself talked out of it, and I started getting closer and closer and thought, why not climb it? It's there to be climbed, I suppose. Let's get to the top of this bad man pajama. Check it off my list. Made it to the top of the summit. It's a good place to glass for deer, but it's windy. It can get a little chilly too. I don't think I want to be up here at nightfall because it's probably ripping over this hill. Good looking deer country though. It's all good looking. Just need a deer. It's crazy, this beautiful country in here, and no deer. I mean, it is pretty rocky though. It's not the most ideal deer habitat, but there's spots that just look great. I'm sure there's pretty low deer densities right here, but I've been working hard looking for a buck and just haven't found anything. I mean, nothing that jumps out at you. There's a lot of hiking, a lot of glassing. The sun's going down right now, and because the wind gets so gnarly up here at night, I'm gonna try to get to this little knob about a quarter mile, about a quarter mile now away, and looks like there's a windbreak there. I'll set up camp there for tonight. That'll be a little better than where I've been sleeping, because there's been some rough spots. And it's beautiful up here. Top of the world. I'm gonna be looking down on the stars tonight. That's a cool feeling, man. Nice. Scarcity around here. Water. This is money right here. I like this camp spot already because this means that I can refill my bottles and keep hunting hard. This is sweet. This is rock wall, and you'll see these rocks, they're stacked. It looks like a wall, and it was constructed by man, but not modern man. This is actually an ancient hunting ground area for the indigenous people that lived here way before we ever showed up. This is sweet to be sleeping in somewhere where ancient hunters used to feed their families and survive. A lot different game for them than it is for me. I'm up here with a rifle and modern gear. They used to come up here, camp out in these little things, and try to take down sheep with primitive weapons. That's you gotta hand it to them, man. They were survivors. This is pretty sweet. Oh yeah, that's gonna be cozy. I think it's still gonna be cold though, because it's gonna be below freezing tonight, so I'm staying in my clothes. Get some dinner going. That's not easy to film myself. Morning. Let's go spot a deer. As I crept up to the ledge here to glass this big basin this morning, right in these rocks, and there's kind of like rocks and a little bit of cliff right below me, I spooked out a whole herd of bighorn sheep. Ewes went up here, just came within, I don't know, 30, 40 yards, and ran up and away, and then the rams went up on the other side. It was pretty cool. There's lots of sheep. I wish I was sheep hunting.
Behind the Lens is brought to you by CAMO Cameras. Relive your adventure.
I find that when I'm out hunting and filming, a lot of times the animals that I see might be too far for the normal camera to be able to pick them up and make anything of it. You can either use a doubler lens on your camera or digiscope by attaching your camera to your spotting scope. You want your camera lens to be as close to the spotting scope lens as you can. And then what I do is I like to use the focus on the spotting scope to focus the camera and set the camera on a manual focus so it doesn't keep trying to autofocus in and out.
This segment of Solo Hunters is brought to you by Carbon Express. Shoot better. Solo Hunters is brought to you by PhoneScope, digiscoping accessories for your smartphones.
At this point, I've been hunting hard and gaining thousands of feet in elevation every day. Since I have not been seeing many deer, I find myself on the mountain longer than I had planned. My pack is now feeling much lighter, but my food supply is extremely rationed. I'm now burning twice as many calories as I'm taking in. I'm getting wore down, but I'm not ready to throw in the towel just yet.
It does not take long to cool off up here, man. It's like the breeze starts and it just drops 15 degrees in seconds. I am running out of food. I'm pretty much out of food. I've been rationing as much as I can. I think this is gonna be my last night. I don't know. Hopefully I can find something. I'm getting pretty hungry, and it just is what it is. It's tough. And I'm on my last camera battery. When this battery runs out, game over. Actually, I have two cameras, but I like this one the best. So. Sheep right there below me. I just spotted 3 deer come out over the saddle. Make my way over there. See what happens. I'm gonna get set up right here. Buckeye wants facing me. I'm gonna wait till he turns broadside. I tried moving closer, just had no other options. Tried getting closer, and the two bucks went off and the one smaller one's still there. Neither of them were real big, but I would have taken one of the other ones. That would probably be the smallest mule deer I've ever shot. And it's a close encounter. If he would have turned broadside, I would have pulled the trigger for sure. Partially because I'm extremely hungry right now. I'm just gonna make camp right here and conserve what little battery I have left for the hunt tomorrow. And get up in the morning, hopefully respot some bigger bucks, or maybe in those same bucks if nothing else comes out. Gonna get after it.
Solo Magnified is brought to you by Vortex, the force of optics.
Having and using good quality optics is a no-brainer, but what might not be so clear is which ones to choose. With a higher power binocular, you've got to work on being a lot more stable, use your tripod, use your backpack, things that can help you to hold more steady because you've got that greater magnification. With a lower power binocular, I can be a little bit more steady offhand and don't have to worry about stabilizing that as much as I would with one that has more magnification. And when I'm looking through the brush trying to find those antler tips and little patches of hair, I want to have as much clarity as possible.
This segment of Solo Hunters is brought to you by Big Green Targets. Go big, go green. For more information on all of our Solo Hunter branded products, social and digital media, exclusive video footage and recommended gear, as well as our choice outfitters, go to solohunterstv.com. Solo Hunters is brought to you by Adventure Medical Kits and Survive Outdoors Longer. Expect the unexpected.
Last night I was down this valley a ways, and right across from me is where those bucks were last night. There's a lot of places they could bed and hide and be out of sight. So I'm just gonna sit here and keep moving and try to glass them, maybe hopefully relocate them. They could have gone anywhere though. But I wanted to take the time that I had this morning to maybe locate a bigger buck. But that didn't work out, so I'm coming back here to the backup bucks. That would be too easy. Unfortunately, he's not big enough. We just spotted the buck again. He's in the aspens here moving. And he's gonna be in the open pretty soon. I'm gonna get set up for a shot. He's down. Oh man. Oh, God. That was an awkward position, the slope of this hill. Watch him, just make sure he looked like you moved straight down. I'm 100% out of food. The last 2 days I've had about 1,500 to 1,800 calories per day. My body just feels completely depleted. The storm's coming in, so I'm just super excited to have this buck down. And believe it or not, everything, all the camera angles and everything, that was live. That was not recreated. Man, I'm excited just to eat something. It's gonna be good eating, I'll tell you that much. And I'm hungry right now. Perfect clean kill. And I'm just thankful for him. This is a trophy in my eyes for this trip. You come out here and hunt by yourself in public land and do these rough hunts, and it doesn't always mean you're gonna kill a monster. Sometimes you just take a nice buck and have a memorable hunt. When you bone out a hindquarter, it should look like this. It should look like nothing's different except for the bones missing. I'm gonna load it up in the pack and head down the mountain. There is some ominous looking weather coming. It's snow with thunder and lightning. About 3 or 4 miles to camp. Whoa. I saved myself a little snack for the pack out. It's actually pretty good. Try to pull the little fat stuff off, otherwise you need a toothpick.
The Solo After Show is brought to you by Outdoor Edge, quality knives and tools for the big game hunter. Can't seem to get enough solo hunters? Now you can get extended behind-the-scenes access into the show. You'll find additional video clips from our fans, as well as a look into some of our exclusive tips and outtakes that we couldn't fit into the show. All this and more at solohunterstv.com.